First element here is a little menu with the main project actions. Here you can see the recent opened projects. Two things noticeable: the About option that shows you the version of Voxel Studio you are using. The other one is the Help option, which is a direct link to the online documentation on voxelfarm.com with lots of information, tutorials and examples. New project opens the 3 starting project window. Open opens a project, closing the one you are working on. Note that you can have multiple instances of Voxel Studio opened. Save and Save As for saving and making copies of your project. Note that each time you save it, Voxel Studio will perform some sort of optimization for the voxels you placed by hand, called voxel edits, and it can take few seconds depending on the size of your scene. Also note that you can save as a project folder. Your project will not be compressed into a single file. It will take more space on your hard drive, but you will gain a lot of time for processing images and saving the project. Package is creating a zip file with all your project elements in it. If you want to send your scene to someone, or simply save the whole thing into one big file. Note that when you use textures and meshes in Voxel Studio, it saves only the link of the file. If you simply copy the project file and paste it on another computer, or change the folders names, the links may not work anymore. Basically, by clicking this button, you create a compressed file ready to be used anywhere. This is a bit different for the prefabs. They are more like tools, so if you want to share them, you will have to manually copy your code files and your mesh library and move them along with the package if you want other people to build with them. Optimize pre-computes meshes so the scene loads much faster. This can be used for very large scene before exporting it to a game engine for better performance. In the middle section you have a little clipboard menu with basic delete, copy, paste and cut functions. These allow you to duplicate, add or remove elements from your project item lists. You can also do that by right-clicking on the items in the item panel. Here you have the export buttons that would create a bundle, which is your voxel scene ready to be used by another engine. For these two, you need to have at least the Indie license and have installed the plugins in your Unity and Unreal projects. You will be able to see and edit your voxel scenes in those game engines. For more information, please refer to the Unity and Unreal videos and the online documentation. You can also export a 3ds Max scene out of your voxel project. If you click the FBX button, Voxel Studio will capture the voxel geometry and the textures around you and create a FBX mesh out of it. Finally, you have the settings button here. You can define the texture size here. All the textures used in your project will be processed at this resolution except for the terrain maps and masks. You can choose the type of compression of your project file. This determines the size of the final file. And one thing to know is that Voxel Studio would process all of your images every time you open a compressed project. If you don't want to compress your project, simply save it as a project folder. Voxel Studio saves all the actions made in the 3D view when you are editing voxels. This button erases every steps. This makes your project a lot lighter and faster to save. Voxel Studio also creates a backup version of your scene. You can delete this as well before saving to reduce the final weight of the project.